what up people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it's to talk about the player ratings from that magnificent display. It's not every day I talk about a magnificent performance from the Arsenal, but yes, we won 5-1 away from home. And yeah, people were trying shit on it. They'll talk about, oh, why are Arsenal fans going on and on and on? It was Fulham, it was Fulham, it was Fulham. Listen, we weren't winning these type of games last year against the newly promoted side. So fuck it, I'll take that. I'll be happy. Excuse me for enjoying ourselves and being happy and backing the team, you know. And even some Arsenal fans are saying not get too carried away. Listen, no one is even having dreams of thinking about winning the league, because we're not. Yes, I get it. We're only 2 points off City and Liverpool, but let's just be real here. You know, that's not our battle. Our battle is to try and finish the best of the rest. I'm not even necessarily confident we'll finish above Chelsea, because Chelsea are playing well, to be fair. But why not finish best of the rest? Why not aim to win the league? Why not? Whether we do so or not is another fucking discussion, but that should always be our aim. To win the league, to try and finish as high as we possibly can. And if we're asking questions, great. I've said it from the very get-go that, you know, yes, we haven't been playing well, we've been winning games, but imagine if we did. Imagine if we did. Someone would get a whooping. I've said that for some time, that imagine what will happen if we did get it right. If we're not playing well and beating motherfuckers, what happens when we play well? And we saw a demonstration of that yesterday. So with that being said, this would be my 1 to 10 ratings for yesterday, in my opinion. Right. So Leno yesterday, I didn't actually think he had much to do, really. I know that Fulham did ask some questions of us in the first half, and Leno did make one really good save that was a bit of a deflective shot. But I thought Leno was solid. My mark in this one isn't so much that he did anything wrong. It was more that, yeah, as much as Fulham tried to huff and puff, it didn't really force Leno into action too much. I think he made 3 pretty good saves, but one in particular which I thought was a pretty underrated save, because it was deflected, and Leno had to adjust himself to get to it. So I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Thought it was a solid performance. Right back, Hector Bellerin. I've seen people say Hector had a very good game. I think he had a good game in the end. I think in the first half it was a little bit slow from him, but I think he adjusted well, adapted well, and as the whole team began to feel some confidence, and I think in the second half he did have a really good game in the end. I think his crossing has definitely got better. I just would like to see that defensive awareness from Hector just step up a little bit. But, you know, baby steps at Hector. We're seeing improvements, and 7 out of 10. Mustafi. Now, let me say right now, he was a contender for man of the match for me. I thought he was fantastic yesterday. Let me make that fucking clear. He was fantastic yesterday. And I'm a big critic of his, as all of you guys know. But credit where credit was due. I thought was fantastic yesterday. I disagree with a lot of people in the sense that, even with my brother Lee, who believes that Mustafi has had good games all season, I don't think that at all. I think he's had this, the one that he had against Fulham and the one he had against Cardiff in particular were 2 standouts. I do think he has improved this season, but I also still think he has holes to his game. I do think he's had a couple of bad performances. Nevertheless, yesterday was a very good performance. Really led from the front, actually. Between him and Holding, I thought he was the better one out of him and Holding. I've seen people say that Holding was the better one. And if you think that, I'm not going to shit on you. But no, this was good for Mustafi. More of the same, please. Because the problem usually is he doesn't follow this up with a back-to-back performance. Mustafi's biggest challenge after the international break, follow this. In a lot of ways, the international break has come at the worst time for Mustafi because this was good. I was very impressed. And it could just be the fact that he's now feeling the threat of Holding has stepped up. Socrates has been excellent. So he knows that his place is under threat. But he was fantastic yesterday. I would go as far as to say, I'm tempted to give him a 9. We conceded a goal. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. But genuinely was out of 3 people, he was one of the people I seriously considered for man of the match. 8 out of 10. Rob Holding, 7 out of 10. I thought it improved as the game went on. Had a couple of little shaky moments, but I thought recovered generally pretty well. Yeah, good from Holding. He's in good form at the moment. 7 out of 10. Monreal. Oh, dear. So I got into a little bit of arguments with people about this. Now, before I get into Monreal, let me make it clear. I thought Monreal was our best player last season. It, for some mysterious reason, went to Ramsey. But I thought Monreal was our best player last season and should have been player of the season. I want to make that clear because whenever you say something controversial about a player, people try and act like you've got an agenda. I don't. I'm just calling it how it is. In my opinion, I think the level of Monreal is starting to decline. You can't sit there with a straight face and tell me he's playing as well as he did last season. He isn't. I think we saw the best and the worst of Monreal yesterday. We saw the best in the sense that, going forward, I think he's still got it and obviously got an assist yesterday. And to be honest, in large parts, I thought was his normal solid self. But then he did have that mistake that led to a goal. And I'm sorry. I don't care if you do. It's like people, it's like, oh my gosh. I mentioned this and discussed this with Lee yesterday. But it's like people ignore the rest. They ignore your mistakes if 99% of your game was fantastic. I'm sorry, if your one mistake has cost me a title, that's going to reflect on the score I give you. If your one mistake has cost me points, a clean sheet, when you're a defender, that's going to reflect in the mark I give you. So to me, I give him a 6 out of 10. This doesn't mean I'm not a fan of Monreal. Quite the contrary, I'm a big fan of Monreal. But yesterday, I didn't think he was great. I would think 5 is too harsh because he did get an assist, but to me, 6 out of 10. The 2 in the middle, Torreira, I thought his best game in an Arsenal shirt, in my opinion. He was the other one. He was the second person I was very tempted to give man of the match to. I thought was fantastic. Hustled. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's the Pitbull Terrier. Emre is very happy with him. Apparently, he's called him he's a student that's learning the game. And I tell you what, if this is Torreira learning, what is the finished product going to be like? 9 out of 10. I thought it was fantastic yesterday. Xhaka, I thought had a good game yesterday. I did. Fair's fair. I thought he was very good. Very composed on the ball. Very calm, picked, generally a lot of good passes and was just pulling the strings silently. Didn't do anything extravagant yesterday, but was not by all means a hindrance at all. Don't know if he did enough to be an 8, but I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I thought it was good yesterday. The 3 across the centre. Mkhitaryan. I thought Mkhitaryan had a good game. Go figure. You play him as a number 10 and he plays well. I thought he had a good game. I thought we didn't really miss Ozil, really. I thought he was very, very good. Very, very good. So much so, I'd be tempted to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good. Really influential on Lacazette and Welbeck, actually. So I really like that. Speaking of which, Welbeck, I thought worked really hard yesterday. I thought played a lot better than he did midweek. Really just full of energy. Was very much a support role. Didn't really have any memorable chances that I could remember anyway. Yeah, I thought he did what he does. But definitely didn't do anything wrong. 7 out of 10. Alex the Sauce Awobi. Fucking hell, bro. Niger. JJ Awobes. What's going on? My man is turning on the style. And it's amazing what a year of confidence and a change of manager can do for you. A year ago, he wouldn't be trying to nutmeg motherfuckers. He wouldn't try to do that. But I thought, again, had a really good game yesterday. And I actually thought it was a little unlucky to come off, actually. I would have liked to have seen him get the full 90. I thought he was playing really well. Covered, because he kind of interchanged a lot. So initially he was on the right, then he was on the left, then he was in the middle, causing fucking problems, bruv. I'll tell you, them Fulham defenders are still having nightmares. He took the soul out of a lot of them yesterday. I'm liking this, brother. Brother, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if it's that Agusi. I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. Keep it up. I believe in you. I believe the talent is still there. But in a way, you are proving me wrong, because I didn't think you'd be able to make it at Arsenal. And I'm liking this purple form, man. I'm really enjoying it. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for me. And then up top, I would say Lacazette was my man of the match. How could he not be? I thought played well the whole game yesterday. Grabbed himself a brace. Would have liked to have seen him got a hat-trick, but maybe that was greedy. Has just been playing very well lately. He's the perfect number 9. He's the perfect number 9. So he's my man in the match, and I give him 9 out of 10. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I'm trying to say his full name. 9. Should I give him a 9? Fuck it, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10 as well. How could I not, really? Because, to be honest, he came on and thought, fuck this. Lacazette ain't winning this little ain't outscoring me this season. And I still think Lacazette will end up outscoring him. But fair play, my man came on and grabbed himself a couple of goals. Well taken goals. One thing I will say also, Lacazette's goals, I loved them. They were beautiful finishes. And these two together, their partnership is blossoming. And the one thing I would say, Ozil not being there gave us the opportunity of playing 2 natural strikers and going 4-4-2. And we were really fucking effective with it. We need to play that more often. Even if Ozil's fit. If Ozil don't fit in the system, drop him to the bench. You know? But yeah, I really, really enjoyed the performance yesterday. And yeah, Aubameyang was part of that. And I have to admit, as soon as he came on, he had an impact. He made an impact. So to me, I give him I'll give him a 9 out of 10. Aaron Ramsey. Man like Aaron. You have to give him credit because he scored the best goal yesterday because it was a team goal. It was an Arsenal goal. It was an Arsenal goal. And boy, that shit was sexy. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was sexy. It was a good goal yesterday. And fair play to Aaron. He's under a lot of pressure at the moment, given the fact that Arsenal have taken their offer. And I'll tell you what, if that's the way he signs off and leaves us in January, fair play to you, brother. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I thought that was an excellent impact as a whole. I thought was very, very good. And then the goal capped it off. And yeah, and Guendouzi came on. Yeah, I thought Guendouzi was all right. He only came on with 10 minutes left. So it doesn't really feel fair to give him a proper rating. But, 5 out of 10. Not because he did anything bad, just because, yeah, 10 minutes to spare and didn't really do much after that. But I thought it was all right yesterday. And then the manager, I have to give the manager 9 out of 10. I thought picked an interesting team. Not a lot of people saw it coming, but what I'm really enjoying about the Emre teams at the moment is he's not just going with the kind of status quo of this is my team, regardless of if they're not in form or not, I'm going to stick to this team. He's very flexible. In fact, so much so, I actually think he picks teams according to his opponents. It's just such a, like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? Of course you should do that. You should pick a team according to your opponent. Your opponent shouldn't be able to name the team that you play and then adapt to that. And that's the one thing I will say about Emre is no one really knows what his team is going to be. And in a way, we're 8 games in, 8 Premier League games in, 1 Carling Cup game, I still call it Carling Cup, Carabao Cup game, 2 Europa League games. He probably still doesn't technically know who his best 11 is. You're still learning that. So I think it gives him an opportunity to just experiment with different kind of shapes, personnel, people like that. But it was different. I was shocked that Socrates didn't start. I think with Aubameyang, because we knew he was carrying a little bit of an injury, maybe it was naive to expect him to start on reflection. But hell, it worked. It worked, and we got the result and got a hell of a performance out of it. In a lot of ways, we're 9-9 now, and the international break, as much as I normally hate them, but this has come at a horrendous time for us because we're such blistering form. For us, the challenge is to keep that going. And I hope we do keep that going after this international break has come and gone with hopefully no injuries. Anyway, guys, you let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. If you liked this video, crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate every time you guys do that. And I guess I'm going to leave you guys to it for a couple of weeks. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break off here. May do a half-term report of some sort. Bring on a couple of guests and kind of just talk about the Arsenal and see what people think so far and give it their little ratings. I normally do that on the second international break, so I'll probably end up doing that again. So watch out for that. That'll probably most likely be next weekend. Also, I'll be doing a preview with Lee again. Be doing that for the Leicester game, so keep an eye out on that. And that's pretty much it from me, guys. So take care, and I guess I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.